Hey everyone, Ridge6 here. In this video I am going to be exploring the new Drake Golem OX, which just came out. And I like cargo hauling, and I really love the whole A, so this is going to be a hard sell for me, but let's see. Alright, so it has this inverted cargo grid which can carry 64 SCU, which is the same as the hull A, so it is a direct competitor. It's inverted like the Argo Raft, and I'm a huge fan of the Raft. I use the Raft a lot, but let's check out these buttons here. Okay, component up above. I think we have a component here on the left. Yep. So it does have a full gold pass with all of its components being accessible when not loaded up with cargo, which is a great thing. Honestly, I wish all the ships had it set up this way. There's the rest of our components, really. Nice. So, inverted cargo grid. To me, it honestly looks a lot like an MPUV tractor. As it's like an MPUV tractor and an Argo Raft had a baby. What's this right here? Hey, external storage. Wait, does the mining golem have that? Have I missed that completely? I didn't think it had external storage, but maybe I'm wrong. Alright, fuel port. Well, now I need to know if the mining one has it. Alright, here's my wonderful little mining ship. I love the golem so much. And wouldn't you know, there it is right there. I just didn't know that. But now I know. There we go. Alright, so the Gollum Ox has an external tractor beam. It's right there on this rail system. I assume it moves back along that rail and then is able to rotate. But let's get in the cockpit and try this thing out. Alright, so if you look down here to the right, you can enter the remote tractor, or the remote, tractor beam. And notice it's turned on its side right now. And so what you need to do is hit deploy turret, and it will extend it back along the rail like that, and then rotates down, which is honestly a really good position for a tractor beam like that. So let's go ahead and enter the remote turret. Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot like the Raft. It's in basically the same position as the Raft, so it should be good for loading and unloading. Nice VTOL thrusters, just like the Golem, and really it's based off of the cutter, but I mean, they basically made the Golem a double wide here, which means they could do it with the Golem too, and make the Golem a 64 SCU mining ship, which would be insane. But this thing looks, I don't know, it looks fragile, right? It looks like it's just gonna snap in half. Alright, I want to try this ship out over on Hurston. There's some contracts there that I like doing, and this will be a good ship for it. Alright, we're going to land first here at Everest Harbor.
To assigned landing bay.
Beautiful Hurston below. For being able to haul 64 SCU of cargo, this thing is tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Alright, there we go. I feel like we've got an audio bug here. Yeah, audio's bugged here in the hangar. I wonder if it'll correct once I get out of the ship. There we go, audio's back. The hangar did not close though, which is weird. Alright, let me show you what contracts I would like to do. They are planetary. Alright, these ones. 101,000. Notice it goes from Everest Harbor. This is titanium going to Tisa, Sakura-san, Casio, and Farnsway. Nice. And then here's another one going to the same locations. Perfect. And here is a third going to the same locations, and that should be 53 SEU in total. Bring all of it up. And then we will get it loaded. See how this little ship does with loading. I'm gonna go ahead and load by hand for a minute because I want to see how it works just loading it by hand. And let's see, I think I'm gonna put all of the tungsten over here on the left in the front. And kind of keep it organized so that it's easier to offload once we get there. So there's not much of a backdrop there for that to fall into place, but it looks like we should be able to maybe pull them off on the side in front of the engine here, but maybe not. Man, it's really low to the ground compared to the raft. One thing that I love about the raft is how tall it is and it makes it so easy to load. But this thing is short and cargo once it's loaded is almost touching the floor. So that's a difference to get used to. All right, I want to try the ship tractor beam now and see how that does. So here we go, deploying. It's kind of fun how it rotates like that. Let's see. Oh. Is the cargo labeling like that normal, or is that new? Maybe I just haven't noticed that before. I don't love ship tractor beams, so I don't use them too much, but that feels possibly new. If you tap Q when you're using the ship tractor beam, it really calms things down, and I mean this is fine. This is a fine tractor beam. So I've done a decent amount of loading here. One thing that is tricky is getting it between cargo on one side and the landing gear or part of the body that the engine's attached to right here is tricky. It's a tight little fit, and then sliding it, I basically put it on the floor and then slid it. Loading the rest here by hand. Honestly, the tractor beam doesn't do too bad, but the ship being short and low to the ground is something that I'm not really used to because I'm used to the big tall raft. But I mean, it's doable for sure. I like how for the most part it's open and exposed, so for having different types of cargo that you need to pull some off like I'm going to be doing here with this trip, it should hopefully work well. I do wish it was taller. Alright, before I take off from Everest, I wanted to see if there was anything we could do on a return trip, and I found this 57 SU of waste from Sakura-san Magnolia coming back here to Everest Harbor, so we're going to make that our last stop, and that way we don't have an empty trailer coming home or coming back to the space station. This is what it looks like. Pretty fully loaded. Definitely looks like the Gollum, but is double wide. This is just the base paint, and honestly, I think the base paint is fantastic for the ship.
And please visit again.
Oh, I will. I'll bring back some waste. Yeah, I mean, it looks very, very industrial, right? Alright, I'm gonna click untrack because it sometimes makes it confusing where you're trying to go here. So let's go to the first one. Farnsway will be our first stop. Jump down to Hurston first.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, flying into one of Hurston's dark, wet storms. Coming into this distribution center here. I'll say it flies well.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
For what it is, it definitely, you know, flies just fine. We had a little hangar queue, which is not something I commonly encounter at locations like this, but finally my turn, so let's go ahead and get landing gear down. Land over here by this freight elevator. There we go. That should do it. Got an audio overlap with another hangar, and the hangar didn't close. I don't know why the hangar didn't close. But I can hear somebody else throwing around boxes. Oh, see. Alright, let's see. Looking at my notes, I like to write things down on a notepad.
Due to inactivity, we have been forced to assign your landing zone to another customer.
What? I sure hope it doesn't impound my ship. Come on, don't impound my ship. I'm just gonna keep going. Alright, I like to, when I'm doing multiple stops with multiple cargo drops that I have to do at each stop, I like to just write it down on a notepad. It takes, you know, a couple of minutes, but really speeds me up once I drop down. So Farnsway here, we're doing 3 of titanium, and then we're gonna do 6 of tungsten. So there was a 4. Let's see, where's my 2 of tungsten? Right here. So I've got all of my tungsten in the front left, titanium in the back left, aluminum on the right. And so for aluminum I need just one 4 SU box. So we'll snag that off the front here. And that should do it for this stop. So, I mean, that worked well, able to just pull things off the side, right? Run around this tiny little ship and pull the things off that you need. I have some scrap left here that was from a previous contract that did not get accepted. Alright, objectives complete. Let's go.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Jumping around to Casio next. Clear weather on this side, thankfully. Yeah, one thing that I really love about the Hull A, and the reason it is my current favorite in this hauling class, is the external cargo, which this obviously has too. So the Gollum Ox is definitely a strong competitor with the Hull A. So far, I'm liking the Hull A still more. I like the interior and the feel of the ship. But I'm also a huge fan of the Drake Golem for mining, and so, you know, this one's not bad. This is, a lot of people are really gonna like this ship, and if you want a tiny cargo hauler that is able to haul quite a bit, 64 is a decent amount for such a tiny ship. This might be the one you want. Let's see, I gotta do some reorganization here. Don't need any more tungsten here. come on, move over. Let's sit that down for a second because I need one of these. So this would be easier to load and unload with it maybe hovering. And if you were not having to, you know, be specific about which cargo you're pulling off because you have 3 different types of cargo like I do here, then, you know, you could just hover and use the ship tractor beam to load and unload. I obviously have 3 different materials here, so I have to run around and pick the ones I need for the different drops. But alright, that should be it for here. Yep, that's everything. Alright, it accepted all 3 of those. Sweet. So let's get on our way to Lorville next. I do like the way it flies. It does a good job.
And please visit again.
So with the whole A being $90 on the pledge store, and this ship being $90 on the pledge store, carrying the same cargo amount, they are direct competitors. I think the whole A will probably go up in cost, but we'll see. Alright, landing here at Tisa Spaceport in Lorville.
Gear down.
Honestly, this could make a nice little pairing with something like the Drake Ironclad in the future once it's released. Or people who are going to be living out of a big capital ship and want to do some cargo hauling every once in a while. This will store well in larger ships for sure. Alright, let's see, what do I need? Looking at my notes. Just need 3 of tungsten, so we'll take this one here. Bounce that box around quite a bit. Let's move this up, and what else do I need? Okay, that will finish it for the tungsten, and then
Your
I need
landing assignment has been revoked.
it keeps doing that. I think, you know what, I think maybe because I'm not landing in the middle of the pad, I'm landing way over on the edge, it's not registering that I actually landed. That might be it, just as long as it doesn't impound my vehicle and reposition me. Alright, I need 7 titanium, so I need, alright, there's a 4, and then I need a 2 SU of titanium, which is, no, that's aluminum. Oh, it's that one right there. Okay, and then I need 5 of aluminum. So, grab one of these off the front. Oof, they do kind of get stuck, just like they do on the raft. It's normal with cargo ships. And then 1 more of aluminum. There we go. Alright, and that should finish it up for Tisa Spaceport. Alright, everything else goes to Sakura Sun Magnolia, and then we'll be picking up there as well.
Thank you for visiting Hurston, and remember, Hurston Dynamics is always looking for hard workers. Please consult our job board if interested.
Alright, coming into Sakura Sun Magnolia.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Landing complete. I haven't even landed yet. The audio is a little funny right now in this patch, I've noticed. Alright, I'm going to use the ship tractor beam because everything that is currently loaded up comes off, so I don't need to grab just some of it. So I'm going to use the tractor beam to pull all of this off real quickly. Kind of like how it makes like a robot arm sound when you turn it quickly. And I believe you can change the tractor beam to a different tractor beam using the Mobiglass, just like you would switch out guns or components. So there are other tractor beam packages that you can install, I think. Alright, there we go. And yes, confirm. Alright, and so we're picking up here as well, and these should be 7 8SEU boxes, which will give us a good chance to see how loading larger boxes feels with such a small ship as well. Alright, yep. So let's get these 8SU boxes on first. Yeah, it's just so low to the ground. There we go. Really moves the ship around too. That happens with the whole A also. When you load it up on the side of the ship, sometimes rocks back and forth. But ooh, yeah, look at that. Definitely seems to respond to the weight a little bit, right? Just want to make sure I had it all the way forward. Okay, I've got that whole left side loaded up. And because it'll be tight sneaking it past the engine here on the right, I'm gonna put it on first right here, and then just to give myself some room, I'm gonna scoot it back one click. There we go. And then I'll throw one on the front. There we go, and then this one can just slide forward. There we go. So if you put it on the grid first and then slide it forward, you can sometimes get it into those tighter fits a little easier. Last box, and then we'll head back to Everest Harbor.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Alright, let's land here at Everest Harbor. It has been about just under an hour since I started working on these contracts. Ooh. So, not too bad. It's going to make, so for the first 3 contracts that we completed, that made 303,000 credits. Delivering these will be another 56,000. Last one. Okay. Contract complete. Awesome. Well, I mean, it's a good little ship. I certainly, I mean, I don't hate it, that's for sure. Got these 4 contracts completed for 360,000 credits. So not too bad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Honestly, my verdict is it's fine. It's great. I don't know that it will replace my Hull A. I really like the Hull A a lot, and it hauls the same amount, but the Hull A has a nice interior that I like. But that might just be because I already like the Hull A. Honestly, it's a great little ship. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about this ship? Also, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow along. Thanks.